Good evening, everyone. Let me know if you can hear me. Dang, Mr. Campbell in here early. Now, for you FAMU folks, when I start being petty, don't say nothing. Mr. Campbell started it. Upgrade, dominate, house way. So, thank you all for tuning in tonight to my positions analysis. This is part one because our team, Jackson State, our football team is so loaded with talent that I'm only going to have enough time to break down special teams and wide receivers today. That's all I'm going to be able to do. And talk a little bit about strength and conditioning. If this is your first time being on my live or tuning into my channel, if you would go ahead and like the stream, you can also subscribe. I'll be dropping content all season long. I am so excited for Jackson State football team. And the reason why is because at every single position, we are upgrading in some form or fashion. And that is why I make the bold statements that I do when I say that bar none, Jackson State has the best football team in the SWAC, and we should dominate. We're going to start with special teams, and then we'll move to wide receivers. We're going to look at a little bit of film, look at some of the training that they've been doing off season. Not enough time. You got plenty of time to break down guys who haven't played in the SWAC. See, Mr. Campbell is being real petty. So I'm going to start off being a little bit petty, but then we're going to get right into the swing of things. But I just wanted to point this out real quick for Mr. Campbell and for those of you who don't think that we're loaded with talent. I'm going to show you guys this little nugget that I had while I was doing my little research. I was like, wow, I did not know this. And then lo and behold, I see Mr. Campbell right there. See, that's the thing about the internet. Once it's out there, it's going to always be there. So I'm going to show you guys this little tidbit, and then we're going to get right into our special teams. We actually had a new commit just today that a long snapper that decided to come and play at the Jackson State University. And so we'll be looking at that. But my response to Mr. Campbell, because he knows that we're loaded, come on now, is that FAMU offered one of our talented receivers last season. And Mr. Campbell was there front and center, just as excited as all of the Jackson State fans are whenever we see a commit say that such and such has received an offer. Mr. Campbell be right underneath that person's page, and he was excited about it. But unfortunately for him, that particular receiver decided to stick with the Jackson State University. Does anybody want to take a guess at which wide receiver FAMU offered and he ended up not committing to? Just hit it out in the chat. Hit it up in the chat. Self-inflicted. And I know that Mr. Campbell knows that they are so talented because here he is right here. The most excited. Let's go. Let's go. So you was excited about Seven McGee going into that portal. Those who laugh first always last laughed. So, or excuse me, those who laugh first always laugh last. There we go. So now, Mr. Campbell knows it. FAMU knows it. Everybody knows it. So, let's go ahead and get down to the swing of things. That was just a little detour for Mr. Campbell. So he knows we're loaded. FAMU, take notes. So, starting off, special teams are long snapper, kicker, and punter. This is an obvious upgrade from last season. If those of you that remember 2021 season, Coach Prime definitely honed in on upgrading our special teams. 2022, he added some pieces, but this year's team, I mean, it's incredible what we have. So our special teams coordinator is also Coach Hammock, who's the linebackers coach. He's also a special teams coordinator. And these are the key core additions for our long snappers, punters, and kickers. So we have Luke Jackson. Of course, he is a kicker that came from Southern. Now, Southern folks, they might try to say, oh, he's not this and he's not that. But Luke Jackson kicked a very, very important field goal versus Alcorn. Mr. Salerno's in the chat correcting me. I apologize about that. Gerardo Baeza, he was a kicker at Jackson State. Previously, he didn't get a lot of playing time. What do you guys think? You guys think that Coach Prime was playing favorites with Mata? Yeah, it's Avery. Avery Salerno is a long snapper. I apologize about that. Hunter Burns is the long snapper. And then Matt Knoll is our punter. So we're going to start off actually with Avery Salerno. He was one of the first commits. And we're going to look at some of his workout videos that he's been doing recently. A lot of people don't have emphasis on long snappers or even kickers, but I think that it's very important to recognize the importance of having quality long snappers, quality kickers, and punters. Sometimes it's the last thing that the teams focus on. And I remember, I think yesterday, somebody had pointed out that North Carolina Central lost their game against Valley due to 3 missed field goals. So that's why it's very important to have your special teams locked up. This is Avery. This is off season actually. So this is on his own. He has committed to making sure that he's practicing his craft, honing in, and making sure that he is in the best possible shape and form. Definitely an upgrade for Jackson State. And he's actually been on campus since the spring. So he's been on campus since January. This is Luke Jackson. And this is some of his kicks. definitely good to take a look at Luke Jackson and the amount of training that he's doing off season. This is also off season as well.
Kick is up, kick is good.
Does anybody hear the wind blowing? Perfect opportunity to train.
Kick is up, kick is good. 45 left. Kick is up, kick is good. 45 right. Kick is up, kick is good. Let's go 50 left. Kick is up, kick is good. 50 right. Kick is up, kick is good. 55 middle. Kick is good. Good set.
And that video was by on his Twitter page. And it was fourth down performance that he is doing some off-season training with. What do you guys think? I put a poll in the chat that asked, do you think the special teams is upgraded or not? The next player that we're going to look at is Matt Knoll. He's a grad transfer punter. He has 2 years starting experience, 2 years eligibility remaining. He's HBCU All-American, 2-time All-Conference. And for our defense, I feel like Matt Knoll is probably going to be one of the most important additions to our roster. And the reason why I feel like he's going to be one of the biggest additions is because he's had 11 punts of 50 or more yards, including a long of 64 yards. And he's placed 16 kicks inside the opponent's 20-yard line. Punting all the way into the red zone, that's probably going to be one of the most important parts of the defense. Pinning the opposition into their own red zone. Because if you have Jackson State's defense, their the front seven and the secondary, and then you have them pinned all the way down at the 15 and 10-yard line, or even at the 1-yard line, it's going to be hard for the opposing team, no matter how offensively good you may think they are, it's going to be hard for them to cross that 50-yard line. We'll see them, of course, trying to run that ball outside of that red zone, and they're going to be met with some resistance. And I'm going to show you some of his film of some of the punts that he's done. I think that after you look at this, you'll understand why I say that our special teams has upgraded to the point where even if your defense is having an off day, you have to march all the way across the field every single time, and you're not strength and conditioned correctly, you're going to be tired. going to be exhausted. And Matt Knoll, his goals for 2023 and 2024 is to win a ring. That's what he wants to do. So being that he wants to do win a ring, he came to the I Love because he feels like that's what he can do. 80 yards is the longest punt that he's ever done. 80 yards. Longest of FCS season. So you're looking at being pinned down at the 5 and 10 yard line, and you're having to push it up every single possession, pushing it up the field. So for me, it's obvious that our special teams, bar none, is the best in the SWAC. We have Gerardo Baeza, who he was on the team last year. I felt like that in some cases that there were favorites played with regard to our kicking. You know, everybody kind of took notice to Alejandro Mata and, you know, the viral video where he was telling, I guess, coach asked him to say something and he did it. And so they really honed in on Mata and him being the face of the special teams. Mata did get to kick in the Celebration Bowl. And of course, as you know, we lost that game. But maybe if we wouldn't have went for 2. So Mata is just as good as in the SWAC, but he might have issues in Colorado. But Baeza, he'll have a chance to once again show how good he is this year. So there we have it right there. I am gonna let you. We have Hunter Burns. So Hunter Burns is from Marshall, and he actually just committed today. Long transfer portal long snapper. He's originally from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and about 9 hours ago, he said, beyond blessed to announce that I will be committing to the Jackson State. And as you can see, you see Coach Hammock there that he's tagging, and then Coach TC Taylor. Once again, Coach Hammock is not only the linebackers coach, but he's also special teams coordinator. So Coach Hammock thought that adding him to the roster would be a good addition. Once again, Luke Jackson, Gerardo Baeza, that's Avery Salerno. He's from Chowan, which he's originally from Chowan in the CIAA. Matt Knoll, MEAC, first team all defense, season high of 81 yards. Hunter Burns just committed today. So that is the special teams. Next, we're going to do wide receivers. I'm getting ready to do another poll, and I'm going to ask you guys, do you guys think it's a push or an upgrade? So, or a downgrade, a push, an upgrade, or a downgrade. I didn't even put downgrade on the poll at first. I'm going to put it on this time. So our first poll for special teams, 89% of people in the chat thinks that it was an upgrade. We're going to now do the wide receivers. So I'm going to add to the poll because I don't think I'm going to just put whether or not you think it's an upgrade, a push, or a downgrade. And as of right now, based off of the Jackson State website, we have 18 wide receivers on the roster. And I tried as best as I could. So if there's some wide receivers that didn't make this list, I apologize. I did as best as I can to find everybody. Right now, I have 18 listed wide receivers that are on the Jackson State website. I'm going to quickly go through their names, and then we'll go ahead and look at some of the film. So I won't say that the wide receivers weren't good. I will say that we did have a lot of drops. And once we got like week 4 or week 5, it became apparent that there were only going to be certain people getting those throws from Shedeur. The overall premise, of course, is who's going to catch the ball and who is going to make Shedeur look the best. When I looked at our actual roster, there's only a couple of a couple of young men who were getting consistent reps. So we have Shane Hooks was one of them. Dallas Daniels was another one that got a lot of reps. Anybody in the chat, can you drop a name of some of the wide receivers that were getting reps? And we know that there was a lot of talent on the roster. Malachi Weidman, as you know, was not able to get reps for whatever reason. And he came his freshman year trailblazing. And then Willie Gaines. So even Kevin Coleman, which he did get, I want to say Kevin Coleman had a postseason award. Kevin Coleman actually didn't even get that many reps. If you see him play, he was on special teams. If you see him play in the Celebration Bowl, those were probably the most reps that I've ever seen Kevin Coleman get in any game ever. So what is my premise? My premise is this. Our wide receiver room was stacked, but a lot of the wide receivers did not get a chance to properly exhibit their talent for whatever reason. Willie Gaines, even he didn't have that many. He had a lot of drops. So I'm getting ready to go through our wide receiver room. I call it Wide Receiver University. We don't really have any remnants of the Blur Nation, so our wide receivers might actually choose a different name. Let's go over it. So we have Kieri Conley Jr. He's 6'1". Seven McGee is the 4-star, of course, from Oregon, 5'9". Isaiah Kendall is a 4-star. And before anybody tries to negate what I'm saying, because if you actually look at the website right now, it says that he is a 3-star. So I'm going to show you when he was a 4-star, which literally was right before he decided to commit to Jackson State. He was a 4-star. And let me see if I can pull it up. Right there. I don't know if you guys are able to see. Let me see if I'm able to pause that. So for me, let me pull this up. That's Isaiah Kendall. He was ranked a 4-star. I know that there's a lot of debate back and forth with when players lose their stars or if they lose their stars. But Isaiah Kendall, prior to actually committing to Jackson State, he was a 4-star. So with that being said, I'm going to still place him as a 4-star on the roster because it wasn't until he committed to Jackson State that he turned to a 3-star. Now, whether or not there's a lot of debate on whether or not that's just how it works, I'm going to say that he's a 4-star. Okay. So that's 2 4-stars so far. Isaiah Spencer is a 3-star, and he was 2-time All-State in Mississippi. Jaden Bossy, he's actually a junior Olympian. 5'10", speed. Logan Mack is 6'4". Duke Miller, I want to say Duke Miller is about 6'1". This Duke Miller originally was committed to, I want to say, Alcorn, and then he switched to Jackson State. Tiari Sherwood is, he also plays on the, I want to say that he competes at track and field at Jackson State. Mike Williams is a 3-star. He's out of the Natchez, Mississippi area. Isaiah Kendall's from Arkansas. Isaiah Spencer is from Mississippi. I want to say Jaden Bossy is from Chicago, but don't quote me on that one. Jonas Fortillion. Now, Jonas Fortillion was another one of our big-time recruits that Prime got, and he did not, for whatever reason, get any playing time. He's 6'4", 3-star. I want to say that he was a 4-star before he committed to Jackson State, but I couldn't find the 4-star. Kobe Paul. I don't know if anybody's noticed Kobe Paul's progression. When he first came to Jackson State, he was about 150 pounds and about 6 foot tall. He's since gained probably about 50 pounds, so he's almost 200 pounds, or maybe even more than 200 pounds while they've been doing their strength and conditioning. He was a standout in the blue and white game, and he's shown a lot of development and progression. So Kobe Paul is basically been quiet, but he's been developing and showing a lot of growth. And so that breakout game in the blue and white spring game, that's probably his coming out like, hey, y'all, I agree. Kobe Paul has definitely gained a lot of muscle mass. He was 150 coming in his freshman year, and now he's well above, if not more than 200 pounds. Then we have Rico Powers. Rico Powers, once again, another wide receiver. He's from South Carolina transfer. He's a 4-star as well. Julian Smith, and we will talk about Julian Smith a little bit later on when we look at the strength and conditioning, which I call the secret weapon of Jackson State University, is that strength and conditioning. Coach Beef, which is Coach Jalen Watson, and the development of some of these players. George McCorley, he is either he's a grad transfer or he's like a senior transfer. One thing that they highlighted on his bio is that he played on special teams. It's important. Some of these more seasoned wide receivers, they have some experience with special teams. Brandon Johnson is 6'4". Fabian McCray, he also played on special teams. He's a 3-star. And Andre Hunt is a 3-star. He's from, I want to say, Nevada. He's the fastest player on the team right now. Well, he runs the fastest 10s. So we'll talk a little bit about Mr. Hunt later on when we talk about the strength and conditioning as well. Wide receivers think year can either be really good or really bad. So this is why I say the wide receiver room is an upgrade. Number one, the amount of players that we have at 6'4" is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 players that are 6'4". Isaiah Kendall is a freshman, so he might actually be 6'5" coming up. Isaiah Spencer. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a look at some of their film. And then after we take a look at some of their film, I'm going to drop the StreamYard in the chat, and we can have a conversation on whether or not you feel okay. So we have Antonio Gayden, which, excuse me, Mr. Gayden, and Robert Williams as well. So there's a couple more that are not, either I accidentally missed them on the website, which is Antonio Gayden. I can pull up some of his highlights. I think he's the one that does a lot of one-handed catches. What about wide receiver from PRJC that runs a 4.3 40-yard dash? That's Gayden. Okay. So we also have Antonio Gayden and Robert Williams. If somebody knows Robert Williams information, you can send it to me on Twitter so I can pull it up. So now we're just going to take a look at some of their film. And for me, I feel like Jackson State's wide receiver room is ridiculous. So this is Kieri KJ Conley, and he's one of the wide receivers that we have on our team. This is him in clocking a 4.5 in the 40-yard dash. One of the things that I see Coach Beef and doing in practices and stuff is stressing the strength, conditioning, and the speed. We see them doing a lot of speed work, and I think that that is going to separate our wide receivers from the rest. I'm going to pull up another player's highlights. This is Logan Matt. And like I said, our wide receiver room, as far as I can tell, I don't know of anybody that would be able to compete with Jackson State with wide receivers. Like I looked at some of the other rosters, and while they might have one or two good wide receivers, they might run into the issue of, number one, is the quarterback going to be able to focus on more than one wide receiver? And it's just not deep enough. So you're going to be relying on one wide receiver or two wide receivers to do all the work. So let's go ahead and take a look at some more of the players. Brandon Johnson. Let me pull that one up for you guys so you guys can look at him. Okay, I'm getting ready to check my Twitter. And Brandon Johnson is upper off. He's gone. He's out of there. You can't catch him. Mind you, Coach Watson is going to be focusing on, of course, speed training, but also bulking up. So most of these, we're about a month and a half away. So if they've already been on the team since January, they have the ability, they've probably picked up like maybe 10 pounds. And the thing about having that many wide receivers on the roster is you're able to switch out your special teams. You're not going to be able to pinpoint. I'll say last year, like, we had the issue with utilizing the same wide receivers. So it kind of became apparent, like, okay, I know that 9 times out of 10, Shedeur is getting ready to go after X, Y, and Z. And that's not to say we didn't have an amazing season, because Shedeur was able to amass a lot of yardage. But I feel like this particular team, especially with Coach Harris, there's going to be a spread type of offense. Everybody's going to get a chance. It says, that is a fine group of young men. Too bad many of them have never caught a pass in SWAC competition. Lord. Oh my goodness. Haters everywhere. Unfortunately, we'll have a lot of good receivers that won't be able to get on the field. And you know what, Mr. Sharp, I can't really say that for certain. Like I said, we have a new type of offense. So I wouldn't be able to say who is and who's not going to be able to get on the team. I definitely think that there's going to be a lot more wide receivers getting on the team or getting a chance to play than last year. Last year, it was kind of like you just sitting there waiting on coach to beckon you up and say it's your time to show out. And then if you make a mistake, he would set certain people down and not allow them to play. But then if it was somebody else, they would still get to play. If they cause an interception, they'd still be able to play. So it's kind of like he was playing favorites. And I think Maurice Harris, his type of offense, he's playing, or excuse me, he was coaching. He coached tight ends. He coached at Liberty. And I think that this particular offense is not going to be air raid. It's not going to be air raid. And Coach T.C. Taylor's objective is different than everybody else's from last year. So last year, a lot of the coaches coming with the mindset that we're here to win so that we can go to our next location. So whatever we have to do to make us maximize us looking good, that's what we're going to do. So we want this air raid offense, throwing the ball up in the air as many times as possible. Mr. Walker says, when I watched Liberty and Ole Miss when Freeze was there, they utilized 8 to 9 wide receivers a game to keep the opponents off track. Mr. Salerno says, there's a ton of talent in this room, and with TC's knowledge of this talent will prove people wrong. I also want to say this, based off of the fact that we have the defense that's comparable to last year's defense, the defense is going to stop the opposing team. And what does that mean? That means that the offense gets more touches. What does that also mean? That means you're going to be able to cycle out your wide receivers more and more because you have more time to play. If you have more time to play, you're not getting ready to run the same wide receivers every game. You're going to want all of your wide receivers to be fresh. It says, I'm not saying only forward play, but at least 8 players out of the 18. You can only play around so much on a balanced offense with run game. And that's one of the things that I don't know if anybody noticed, but a lot of the wide receivers are actually freshmen. Isaiah Kendall, Isaiah Spencer, Mike Williams, Jaden Bossy. Those are all freshmen. All of them are freshmen. Okay, let's go ahead and look at some more film. I'm going to pull up some of, let's go look at Seven McGee's highlights. I think everybody's seen Seven McGee's highlights, but he is able to do this one-handed catch that he does it in several videos. I don't know. Maybe it's a signature type of catch that he does, because he does it a lot. This one-handed catch, which he's not the only one that does a one-handed catch. I've seen Isaiah Kendall do one as well. So also to note, Isaiah Kendall and Isaiah Spencer, both of them had high marks in basketball as well. So will they be some two-sport athletes? We're just going to have to see. But Isaiah Spencer and Isaiah Kendall were really, really good in basketball. And this is one of the reasons why I say that we're stacked to the point where we are better. You don't have just Shane Hooks that's catching the ball all the time. You're able to bring in some more talent. I think it's without question the level of talent on this team. And I don't think any of us feel like one wide receiver is going to get more touches than the other out of favoritism. Oh, it looks like Luke Jackson is not on the roster anymore. Oh, Mr. Walker said yes. So there's a little bit in the chat saying that Luke is no longer on the team any longer. I don't have the official for that on the JSU website. I want to say he's still on there, unless this happened in the last 24 hours, 48 hours, or maybe they just haven't had a chance to take him off. I'm going to check. And while I'm checking on that, I'm going to play some Jackson State music. All right, I'm back. um I dropped my StreamYard in the chat, so you can come over here, come up and let me know what you think about our wide receiver room. We're talking about the wide receiver room. Okay. I did want to point out the secret weapon of Jackson State University is Coach Beef and his staff for strength and conditioning. And so I wanted to go over the 10-yard fly through KC 1400, Ken Clark and friends. They did a fundraiser a couple of months ago, and they were able to purchase, it's like some type of speed equipment. And so Coach Beef has been putting it to use. So this is basically the 10-yard fly from June 19th to July 13th. And the skills, as you can see, Andre Hunt was the fastest player on the roster. And in June, he was at 92. That's basically, I'm guessing, 92 seconds, or excuse me, 92 tenths of a second. And it moved to 90 over a month. Then we have Jaden Bossy. As I told you before, he is actually a junior Olympic winner. And he also does hurdles. He competed at state last year before graduating. We have Tavares Jones, who was at 0.95, and he reduced it down to 0.92. Isaiah Spencer was at 0.95, and he shaved it to 0.94. Eric Simmons was 0.95, and now he is at 0.94. In the mids, we have Irv Mulligan, J.D. Martin, Desmond Moultrie, Kevin May, and Ezekiel Johnson. Those are all running backs. And so Irv Mulligan was able to reduce his time to 0.93. Desmond Moultrie from 0.96 to 0.94. Kevin May is at 0.96. J.D. Martin, virtually the same from 0.96 to 0.97. And then Javarian Jenkins, which he is actually, I want to say Javarian Jenkins is a linebacker. Biggs. Do you guys see Coinus Miller and Devontae Davis up there? Wow. Do you see how much they progressed from 1.04 for Coinus Miller to 0.99, from 1.04 for Devontae Davis? I don't know if he didn't compete that day. Antonio Doyle made it. Julius Reynolds, DJ Stevens, which DJ Stevens, he should be first team all SWAC this year, preseason. It says 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Stop by Callaway High School if you're in the city and support the Callaway Chargers football program, car wash, and fundraising. I'm guessing Callaway High School is in Jackson, Mississippi. Do you have an address? We can drop that for folks. I'm with you, Whitley. I'm trying to focus on the mission at hand, which is talking about our team. And I'm getting ready to play some film. This is from Coach Watson's page on his Twitter. So basically, this just shows the strength conditioning, the speed work that they've been doing on a daily basis. very important for the team. It's going to separate us from the rest of the SWAC. And you know what? That doesn't mean that just because they don't place it on their website, that does not mean that Alcorn or Valley or FAMU or any of the other ones are not doing it. That's not what that means. And I don't want people to think that that's what I'm saying. What I'm doing is I'm just looking at our strength and conditioning, and I feel like it's an upgrade from last year. And if I'm thinking that it's an upgrade from last year, and last year our strength and conditioning was above par for the SWAC, then that is what I'm basing my analysis off of, is that Jackson State was above the SWAC last year, and that they'll continue with strength and conditioning. So these are just some of the various types of strength and conditioning that Jackson State does on a daily basis. I have not seen them do stadiums yet. I don't know if they've done stadiums or not, but I haven't seen it. And one thing that we also haven't seen, which we probably will see soon, is the I'm pretty sure they're taking like before and after pictures to see how much weight they've gained over the time. So it'll be interesting to see that as well moving forward. So this is in order: 0.90, 0.91, 0.94, and 0.94. And I want to say this one is Andre Hunt is the first one. The next one, I'll have to get the name later. I know for sure. I think this is Isaiah Spencer. Yeah, Isaiah Spencer was 0.94. And so this is when they post 10-yard fly, this is what they're talking about. Basically the burst of speed right before they get into full stride. And once again, that was Andre Hunt. And I want to say Jaden Bossy, and then it would have been Isaiah Spencer and Eric Simmons if he was recording 9.4 and 9.4. Mr. Walker, do you want to come up here and talk about some of the wide receivers? In my opinion, running stadiums is overrated. Elite strength and conditioning is more than lifting the heaviest weight and doing the hardest workout. That's how you get injured. I did notice that a lot of the student athletes got sick and were throwing up and all type of stuff. I'm not questioning, of course, Coach Beef's way of doing his strength and conditioning, because as you can see, the student athletes are doing a phenomenal job. They're lifting on a daily routine basis. If you're following him on Twitter or Instagram, there are a lot of different types of videos that he'll post just showing the strength and the conditioning of the program. Now, there might be other teams that are doing some of the very same things that Coach Beef shows on a daily basis. But for me, I'm not trying to necessarily compare, but I feel like our program is the best in the SWAC. And let me see if I can show the weightlifting, because it's really a testament to the commitment of the Jackson State players. Like, they all have are committed to winning. Somebody said we did have Travis Hunter. Yes, we did have Travis Hunter. And when he was healthy, he was able to play. He did have an impact. If they throwing up, they getting in shape. Hey, Mr. Walker.
Hey, darling. Yeah, you're right. I mean, that wide receiver room it's not normal. I can tell you that. For FCS, that's not normal. I'm not going to even just say SWAC. I'm going to have to say FCS, period. That's not normal to have anywhere between 17, 18, anywhere between 17 and 20 guys playing that wide receiver. That's man, that's not normal. You know, you got FBS, you have FBS teams that do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Power 5 schools. That's
group
their
of five. Group of five.
Yo, no, Power 5. I mean, you know, you might have some Power 5s that might go up to maybe they'll probably go up to like 20, and then you got to count in the walk-ons, and then you got to count in, you know, like what's called the gray shirts, and that'll probably be anywhere between three to six. But for J-State to have almost 20 guys, that's not normal at all, because most teams FCS, you're looking at probably anywhere between the 12, 15 mark, maybe. And that's a maybe. It just depends upon the school. You know, like some schools, they might have as low as 7 or 8. So that's not normal. I can tell you that. And, you know, a guy that I saw that people really need to pay close attention to. I've been talking about him for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But that young man, Mike Williams, has been, I don't know if he's going to do it this year. I don't know.
Is that that's the 3-star from Natchez, Mississippi, correct?
Yes, my Lord. That's all I'm going to say. You seen, I'm going to tell you who he reminds me. He's a smaller version. He's not that big. So all the pundits out there in the chat, no, he's not that big. But I'm talking about as far as his game. He reminds me of A.J. Brown. Yeah, he's one of them little tough little cookies that's gonna go get it. And I mean, it's hard to tackle him because he has that kind of off center of gravity where you can't get a good hit on him. And you know, he really impressed me. But there's a lot of guys. But I mean, you gotta look for Tillian this year. Like I said, I saw him play basketball, and he was jumping. I thought that was a damn great Dane when I was watching him just play basketball. Like he was, you know, like going behind his back, dunking backwards and all this, so carrying on. So, yeah, the SWAC is in trouble. They in trouble.
So what do you think about the wide receiver room this year versus last year? A lot of people talk about, they highlight Kevin Coleman and Travis Hunter. My thing with our wide receiver room as far as production is that Travis Hunter only played in 4 games. Yes, he definitely had an impact in those 4 games. And that Kevin Coleman, I think Coach Prime limited his touches. So even though he was a great, absolutely great wide receiver, I think one of the reasons why he left also was because he was limited on the touches.
Well, my opinion, what happened was last year, it was kind of like he wanted seasoned guys. You know, for the last couple of years, he wanted like real seasoned guys. And also, Coach Prime wanted guys that, were big on, as far as recruits, which they had game. I mean, Travis Hunter, Kevin Coleman, they had game. Don't get it twisted. But it's, he was looking for more seasoned guys, that can play now, type of thing. But, win now, but with my opinion, I was leaning towards a push at first, but all those names that you was dropping, and then some of the names that we all know about, it just served as a reminder to me. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I mean, yeah, we had Travis Hunter, yeah, we had Kevin Coleman, yeah, we had Shane Hooks, Dallas Daniels, but in my humble opinion, I think they replaced ×3 this year. I really do. I really do. Now, Travis Hunter, that's a special talent. That's generational there. I mean, yeah, he's generational. So, I mean, you can kind of X that one out. You can now that would be a push. I'll say that. That would be a push. Kevin Coleman
just like the impact. So for Travis Hunter, he was more symbolism for what could be.
Yeah.
And Coach Prime, which I'm glad that he did do that, which was set him down and not force him to play, because he could have, some coaches don't care. They wrap him up and make him go on. So as we know, he wasn't really supposed to play in the FAMU game. They let him play, and then after that, he had a surgery.
Right. He was actually playing hurt. He was actually, it came down to because it was a national televised game, is what that was. And it was more like, okay, I'm going to show the world, what I have with you, which, being a football savant, that you knew that him coming in, what Travis Hunter was. I mean, hell, he was number one. But overall the entire year, but when he committed to Jackson State, they took him down to number 2. But, we all know the story on that. But yeah, I just think, like I said, he's like I said, I think it's a push with him. It may be a push, I'm going to say, due to the route running. I'm gonna say maybe Dallas Daniels, maybe, because he
Dallas
ran.
Daniels, what is he, like 6'0" or 6 foot 6'1"?
Yeah, he was 6'1", but his route running was impeccable. I mean, it was impeccable. I mean, call a spade, it was impeccable. But there's a but with that. But watching Kobe Paul the other day, and I keep saying his name, Mike Williams, I really think, I mean, and then you got to add in, Spencer. You got to add in this young kid that was supposed to go to Ole Miss from Brandon. He's on the team. So, I mean, it's a lot. I mean, when I say it's a lot of talent on their team, we're very appreciative of Willie Gaines and Kevin Coleman, and I mean very appreciative.
Trevante Rucker was a 4-star.
Right. Appreciative of him as well.
Quay Davis is a 4-star. Trevante Rucker 4-star. So by them choosing to come to Jackson State, that was definitely a sacrifice that they made, based off of the premise that Coach Prime was preaching to everybody coming in, which was play for our people. We all know the words that he was using to get folks to come to Jackson State, and those kids believed in what he was serving. And I'm actually appreciative that all of the players after Coach Prime said, I'm going to leave, that these students or student athletes, for me, it means a lot more because they stayed.
Sure. And actually, let's
So they
just be
actually
factual.
believe
Right.
what he was serving, but they're like, nah, we need to play for our people.
Right. And what happened was the biggest ones that really left out the door, not saying anything wrong with that. Everybody, it's an ego driven sport, it's a barbaric sport, if you think about it. But the ones that were saying, okay, we really didn't have to be here, we just came here and this, that, and third, they're gone. But
Right.
the ones that's there now, I mean, there's the ones that remain. There's no drop off, and I'm not, I don't have I got my reading glasses on right now, but my JSU glasses, I just really think that it's probably going to be an upgrade because you have too many different versions of wide receivers in this unit this year. You're still not talking about, a guy that actually runs track for the school. I mean, Eric Simmons. He actually runs track too, and he's actually played football 2 years.
So it
He's
looks like
been
it's
there.
Eric Simmons and there's another one that has ran. Tayari Sherwood are both there. Our freshman Jaden Bossy, he actually was all state he competed in the Junior Olympics for hurdles.
Yeah, but I think the two pit bulls of the team that's really gonna fire up everybody is Paul, from what I've seen, and that doggone Rico Powers. Rico Powers said he won 2,000 yards this year. I was just laughing away. I was just laughing. I said, get it, young man, get it. So but that's the one. I guess what y'all females say, drop the T. That's the one that actually told me when I was down there that it was him and K5. Those were the two that told me that they actually watch all these, lives and stuff like that, and they use it as fuel. But Coach TC doesn't allow them to comment that often on it. Yeah, those are the two that told me that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's gonna be. Like I said. I mean, we got our.
I can't even. The thing is, the reason, and I'm not. I promise you, I am not trying to be cocky. I'm not. But where do you have a wide receiver room in the SWAC with this many players? And not just this many players, you have multiple quarterbacks that would be able to effectively make sure that these student athletes get the ball. So right now, of course, we're not crowning anybody, but Jason Brown was a favorite to be QB1. But our quarterback room
is loaded.
Who has a better quarterback room than Jackson State University?
It's the best in the FCS, period.
And then not even
it's the best in the FCS.
2024, and we just got the 3-star legacy quarterback as well for 2024.
I'm gonna say this from what I've seen in some of their practices. The leading two contenders right now is Jason Brown and that Zach kid from ULM.
And then were you
he
able
can sling it? I'm talking about he can, man. Well, Jason Brown can sling it too.
Were you able to see Jacoby and Morgan? Were you able to see him?
Yeah, that dude like a big old tree stalk. He's long. That boy, that tall and long and big. I mean, the QB. I'm gonna say this: we can actually go 5 deep at quarterback if we wanted to. If we really, really wanted to, we can go 5 deep, and there's no drop off. If we really, really wanted to, it's gonna come down really, to be totally honest. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this out there, all you SWAC pundits out there. if you knock out one quarterback, I'm knock on wood, you better be worried about the other one. You knock out the second one, you better be worried about the other one, because they're gonna come in and all of them gonna do pretty much the same thing. And then to be as far as talent, you can't just say like, okay, well this guy is this guy, because you just have to just see it. Like it's crazy. It's like having a SWAC all-star team, but everybody play on the same team though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they that deep. They are that deep. And like I said, you can go look at your stats, your averages. Jackson State has the best QB room in the FCS. I didn't say SWAC. I'm saying FCS. It's too much talent. And the crazy part, it's not crazy, but the part about it that I love, they all want to be there. And they fighting for this position. They want it like everybody wants it. Everybody wants to start. So it's going to come down to, it might be one of them, how Coach Comedy did that year when it came down to those two quarterbacks. We had to start the White Tiger that year. You remember, because the White Tiger didn't nobody know that he was starting to like a week before the first game. Well, actually the week of the first game. So I can see it probably doing that, because it's just too much talent. And as far as the wide receiver as a room, I'm gonna go ahead and go and tell you this, T. Yeah, we better this year as a room. Now you had some players, from last year that were just, they were brand name. You had a bunch of Gucci, Prada, and Versace on the team. But this year we got a bunch of, Karl Lagerfeld. You got some Fendi. You got some Fendachi, and you got a lot. It's just a lot this year. You really got the drip this year. You got the super drip this year as far as the wide receivers. So, you just gotta, man, get ready for the show. Just get ready for the show, because it's coming. And see, the wide receiver room is just as competitive as the quarterback room.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So you gotta, man, it's man. Like I said, Uncle Campbell, man, man, let's get it, man. I'm here for it. Play, me, place your bets. That's all I'm gonna say. Place your bets. Place your bets.
So since we're only an hour in the show, I was like, okay, well, I guess we're gonna move to the next one, which is the linebacker room or the defensive ends. Whole lot of motion involved at 1,400. You love to see it. I just need to see the O-line. I was hoping to see Gaden in camp early. I doubt it. Okay, so I'm going to move to linebackers. I thought that the wide receivers was going to take longer than what it was. So because it didn't, we're going to move to the linebackers.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So we got some Gordon Gartrell in there too. Yeah, we do. Yeah, man, it's gonna be a fun year. I can tell you that. And that Vires dude, get a life on Twitter. Get a life. Don't do that no more. Don't do that no more. What I don't even know what that was about. Like, really?
Oh no, because what was said was that I'll just explain it real quick. That FAMU was going to be basically crowned king of the SWAC for SWAC Media Day, and I was just like, you guys are going to have to talk about why you guys keep coming in second fiddle to Jackson State. That's going to be the story. What are you guys going to do to overcome it? And I guess they felt like it was supposed to be a joke with the punchline, but it wasn't a punchline and it wasn't a joke. I was being
like that was just weird stalker vibes. Like, what is that about? Like, it's one thing to gawk, but it's another thing just keep it football. Like,
Right.
Keep it noise talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, like keep it that. You know what I'm saying? And if Willie Simmons, if you that dumb to have you a burner account getting on
No,
Twitter.
that's not him. That's not him.
Yeah, I know it's not him. I'm just saying, but if you got your cronies out there doing these burner accounts with your name on it, you might not want to piss the wrong people off, dude. Because I'm telling these young men are watching. They are watching. They are watching. You have, and all I'm gonna say is when we come back at the end of September, I don't want to hear nothing like, well, man, he was just talking. At least I'm fair, trying to warn you up
Right.
front.
Right.
I'm fair. Like, you know, I'm trying to warn you these ass when you finna get like I'm trying to warn you. Like, I've never seen anybody walk around say that they the hunted, but you're 2 times champion. And they feel like they the hunted.
I just feel like it doesn't. They're saying, well, you don't have what you had last year. You're right. We don't have.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
On in players.
Okay. Hell, last year I was 46 years old. So what? I mean, come on. Shit, I'm 47 now. So what? I mean, you didn't have what you had last year. Okay, cool. Well, I know I still got the same things that I got last year and more. So stop it. Like, just I don't know what kind of, and see a lot of these people. What kind of trips me out is with a lot of these SWAC fans at these other schools. This is what trips me out. When we come factual with our noise talking, they always got to find some kind of way to hit below the belt. And that's just, you know, I don't know. That's just so corny to me. Like,
right.
We're just talking football. We're talking facts.
Right. So this is
The
fact right
facts.
here. Josh Clark is a former 4-star. He was at Ole Miss beginning. It says as a prospect 3-star, but on some news article it said 4-star. And he's playing his last year at Jackson State. Like,
a nerd like the herd, nah.
Yeah,
come on up, Zoe. I see you in the chat, bro.
I'm finna pull up his highlights too, because once again, for me, it's the depth at every position. And you're not going to be able to make a plan. Also, it's interesting. Coach Bradley is not only he's going to be defensive coordinator, but he also is over the defensive line as of right now. So for me, his defensive line, whatever he was doing at practice, was translating to that field. We see that Alcorn was giving Jackson State a run for their money. He's now here at Jackson State, and I think that it's going to be blitzing involved just because of the way that Jackson State ran their defense. It was almost like a blitz every single, like you knew they were going to blitz. Now, the secondary, I'm thinking that coverage is not going to be as much man-to-man coverage. I don't think it's going to be like that this year. But the blitzing, I think, especially for certain quarterbacks, FAMU, because their quarterback is not mobile. Now, he might have done some speed training. But he was just like a statue. FAMU did say that they have an offensive line to counter the blitzing. But if I see Coinus Miller and Devontae Davis are both on this particular right here for the bigs, Coinus Miller and Antonio Doyle and Devontae Davis, they're all at 10, coming up off less than a second for the 10-yard fly. Quintus Miller was at 99. Julius Reynolds was 1 second, 1 second and 5. Antonio Doyle was at 1 second and 5. Like these, the defensive line coming up off the edge, and then the linebacker picking up in the event that the quarterback is able to successfully get the ball off. I don't think there's going to be any drop off with our defensive line. And I'm getting ready to pull up Josh Clark's film. And y'all let me know, what do you guys think about speed training Musa girl by? I mean, that was one thing that I'll say about Shedeur, is that he was able to up the ante for the next link. He was definitely able to be more elusive out of that pocket. They were saying that he was one of them. So once again, this is Josh Clark. He's a new addition to Jackson State University. Like the way I talk. And I definitely think he's going to be an impact player. And then we're going to also look at Julius Reynolds. He definitely has some quality post, or it's actually preseason training that he's been doing. I think that he'll be playing off the edge. And one thing about Josh Clark that he brings to I think, who did we lose? We lost Jeremiah Brown at linebacker. We lost Aubrey Miller at linebacker. I also wanted to show you guys Aubrey Miller's grade from 2021 to 2022. I'm going to see if I can find it. The reason why I wanted to pull that up is because from one year to the next, it was a significant increase. Like it was in the 40s or 50s in 2021, and in 2022 it was 85. And why am I saying that? Well, I'm saying that because number one, the development of Aubrey Miller, but it shows that when he was able to get an opportunity to basically be that guy, he was able to step up and do it. So what does that mean? It means that there's other opportunities as well for other linebackers to step up to that place where Aubrey Miller was at and be able to take over. There's a lot of folks that thought, going from when James Houston, Keontae Hampton, when all of them left, they thought, oh, you guys lost those significant impact players, so now you're not going to be as good. Moving forward, Aubrey Miller was able to take over and be that guy. So with that being said, I feel like the same can be said for some of these other players coming to Jackson State. They'll be able to do the same thing as far as stepping up to the plate where Aubrey Miller has left that void. Sorry about that music. I got to mute it. And that's what I was thinking. I was wondering if they might move him from inside linebacker to maybe possibly coming up off the edge. We're going to take a look at Julius Reynolds, who, by the way, has been on Jackson State's team. A lot of folks probably don't know that he was a 3-star as well. And it says, what about the defensive line from Southeastern Louisiana? Don't worry, I got you. I can pull him up as well. Well, the only thing I have on him is his picture and his name, but so as far as off the edge, we still have Antonio Doyle, 4-star. He's from Texas A&M, but he's been on Jackson State roster. I expect for him, and even the coaches have spoke highly about how Doyle has taken that leadership role and stepped in to becoming the face of the defensive line. Jaheim Hazel from Wofford, he's on here. Of course, he's a defensive back. I will do later on, probably Friday. Today's Wednesday. Friday, where we look at the DB and safety room as a whole. I don't know if Mr. Walker would agree with me, but I would say that the safeties and the defensive backs as a unit is definitely upgraded.
Yeah, they're a nightmare. They're a nightmare. That Batman kid,
Bruce,
he's a nightmare.
and he's a freshman. He's
a nightmare.
Bruce Mitchell. Not to mention that we have Asias Guthrie.
Yeah, Asias is that's our if I had to make a comparison, that's kind of like our like Minka Fitzpatrick kind of guy, like the Honey Badger. You know, that's him. He just all over the place. And it was some dude that had some braids the other day that was playing linebacker that stood out to me. Because when I looked at it, he kind of gave me like a growl. And I said, Lord Jesus, I said, don't hit me, young man. I said, I'm too old to be playing. Yeah, I said, young man, don't hit me. Yeah, he was like, I'm just playing with you, sir. I said, no, I don't take offense to it. But yeah, the DB room as a room, man, I don't know, Musa. I don't know, Musa. I don't know.
No, you don't know either.
Oh, I know.
No, I don't think he's throwing 200 yards against Jack State. I'm giving Musa about 150 from what I've seen. I'm giving him. I'm really being gracious by giving him that. I'm really being gracious because you got some guys that's some ball hawks back there, and that's what you need in your defensive backfield. And the thing about it is with that defensive line, you just don't know who's gonna come in and just, knock you out. You just don't know. So, the defense is gonna be from what I've seen, they all like to run to the football. And being and Zoe know what I'm talking about because he's a Bears fan like myself. We love them type of defense that everybody just go to the ball. I love them.
Hey, Steve, to answer your question, yep, better than that backfield. This defense, look, I've been to every practice. This defense is going to be totally different from last year. And what I mean totally different in what we do and how we do it, even from a personnel standpoint. It's going to be totally different. But yeah, the defense, Steve, the DB we got right now, we've upgraded the DB room. And it ain't even close. Now, I get it. I understand we may look at, Cam was first team all SWAC. And Cam was a great player, but Cam left a lot of plays on the field. And what we've upgraded at was our weakness on the defensive backfield. We're a lot better as a coverage unit, than we were last year because we solely play man. We're going to mix some things up this year. When you look at Asias isn't a hitter. He's a damn good, probably the best coverage-free safety in all of HBCU ball. Then you factor in Keidron and Callaghan, who can actually is going to play some safety, but also play some outside linebacker. And so the thing about this defense is the versatility of it. We're going to really showcase that more so than what we did last year, with where we line guys up and what they're going to do. And that's what the outside world hasn't seen, but I have. You know, when you talk about, when you see what Big Junior comes in, what Big Junior is going to be doing in the best shape of his life, y'all not going to even recognize him when you see him.
You can't really recognize him. I showed them a video of him lifting, and you can't even, you talking about Coinus?
Yes.
You can't even tell that it's him.
Oh, I'm telling you, when you guys, ASU Nation, when you guys see him in Atlanta, you're not going to recognize him. He's hands down the best shape he's in the best shape he's ever been in. And then same thing for True Thompson. Wait till you guys see True Thompson. And then you look at Phillip Webb, and then you got, you know what I'm saying, you got the other guys who come out the other end. When you got Phillip Webb and you got Doyle on the other side, and the way we're going to interchange them. And again, Jeremiah Williams. We still have hands down the best D-line in this conference. It's not even up for debate. I don't care who opened their mouth to say anything. You guys got to remember, we weren't just the best defense in the conference. We're the best defense in the nation. And we return a good buck of that back. Right? So, yeah, you lose an Aubrey Miller. And you can't replace an Aubrey Miller with one man, but you can't replace him with the unit. And so, what we got at linebacker as a unit, we're a lot better in coverage than what we were last year. Because even Aubrey himself could be a liability in coverage. But as a unit, we've upgraded in coverage, especially when you talk about the teams in the SWAC and what they like to run. So again, we've upgraded at the linebacker position. When you say that, people think it's blasphemy because they think about Aubrey. But you ever notice they don't talk about the two outside linebackers, right? Of course they don't. Aubrey was that good. But again, when we talk about the unit itself, we upgraded the whole entire unit. And we're not talking about just going 3 deep. You know, when you look at JJ, he's a taller, faster.
Javarius Jenkins for anybody.
Yeah. JJ is a taller, faster Keontae Hampton. Like I told anybody, man, the kid runs a sub 4.4. When last time you had that at Jackson State? And again, Tim Stewart. Tim Stewart is a dog. Tim Stewart's going to be all over the backfield and playing some outside linebacker. So again, this defense is versatile. Is way versatile than what we had last year, and they're going to see it. So
and then I think the difference, of course, in the coaching, as far as like we did a lot of man coverage, man to man, and I think that caused a lot of folks to get beat. A lot of times, you'd be like, "Dang, Nugget was getting." Beat a lot of times, doing the man coverage, and it didn't seem like Coach wanted to switch up how he was going about running his. He wants to run basically the same. Everything was basically the same always.
Let me say this too, because even to address like when you say Nugget got beat sometimes, I think people fail to realize this is college ball. I think people are expecting NFL top-ranked defense on the collegiate level. You're not getting that. I mean, the closest thing even from a statistical point is what you're going to get from JSU last year. So even like sometimes you're like, oh, nigga got 3 balls calling him a whole game. Last time I checked, that's amazing for a cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Amazing.
That's amazing for a cornerback on the collegiate level. So it wasn't like Nugget was getting torched where he's giving up, 8 or 9 catches a game. Nobody that we played against was doing that against JSU. You see what I'm saying? But but low hanging fruit would be like, Nugget gave up 3 catches this game, or he gave up 4 catches this game. That's amazing. That's amazing stat on the collegiate level. If you got a cornerback and he only give up 4 catches a game, I mean that's awesome. So you look at what we did, and again when we talk about starters. Bringing back Jalen Hughes and K5, that tandem got the most starts of any tandem that we had last year.
Sure did.
You see what I'm saying? Jalen had interceptions. K5 had interceptions. Matter of fact, I say it all the time. Musa threw 1 touchdown. It was the K5 last year. So,
Mr. Campbell, you hear that?
I mean, it's not a shot. It's the truth.
He turned K5 into a wide receiver.
I mean, so, and that's another thing. They keep talking about Like even I heard somebody the other day, it was like, oh yeah, FAMU offense, they got the rack boys. I was like, were they not the rack boys last year? Because they didn't get no rack against Jackson State last year. I mean, Xavier Smith, as good as he is, he did nothing his entire FAMU career against Jackson State. That's a fact. Nothing. No touchdowns, no nothing. Didn't get no rack. They got no rack against JSU. So I'm sorry if I don't have any fear in my heart playing FAMU thinking that, oh, it's the rack boys. I mean, they've been the rack boys the past 2 years. They've done nothing. You know what I'm saying? So they can miss me with that. And again, those same DBs are still here, and we've upgraded. We've added. What do you guys get a hold of the corner that we got in from Wofford? And then we also added another piece. Just like even at the linebacker spot, I know people Michigan have linebacker concern. Man, y'all ain't seen Troy Polamalu yet, Junior. What do y'all see him? Look like Troy Polamalu at defense. Wait till you get a hold of it.
Yeah, he crazy. Yeah, he was going crazy. You're right, so I remember that he was going crazy in the weight room the other day with snot coming out his nose. Yeah, I saw.
None of you have seen him. I'm like, man, I'm telling you, like people, they're projecting what they hope and what they feel is going to happen, what they hope will happen. Not logically saying, oh yeah, this is just logical that JSU is going to take this great fall from grace. No. They'll say, oh, we lost 50-some players. It was like, do you know how many players we had on the team last year? And then a good portion of the guys that got in the portal, a good portion of them didn't play, and another portion of them were walk-ons. So when you talk about tangible things that left or the guys that played, that number isn't great. Now, granted, you can see its depth, but then that by saying that, you're going to dismiss what we brought in, because last time I checked, we had the number 2 ranked class in the country. Number 2. And for the people who say they don't care about class rankings, they only say that because they're not ranked.
Exactly.
Because here's the thing. Jackson State hadn't had a great recruiting class before Deion Sanders got there, right? So coincidentally, do you think there's any type of correlation that Deion Sanders had the number 1 ranked class in FCS for 2 years in a row? And it's a byproduct of having that. We went undefeated in conference 2 years in a row and won a conference championship. You don't think there's some type of correlation with that?
Right. Yes, there's a correlation with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the pundits, they like to say, "Oh, you out talented the SWAC. You out talented the SWAC." Well, I mean,
that's the name of the game.
Mantra, if that's your mantra, is that we out talented the SWAC. Don't we out talent the SWAC for a 3rd year in a row?
Well, but that's the name of the game, because coaching plays a good part of it. But typically, the guy that got the best Billy and Joes tend to win the game.
Right.
Those are facts.
So
those are facts. Big facts.
They'll say, so watch this. So they'll say Deion Sanders wasn't a great coach. I mean, well, he didn't need to be if he could out recruit you, right? You can't have it both ways. So TC Taylor's already out recruited everybody in the conference. It's not even up for debate.
It's not up for debate. And yes, Uncle Cam, I'm gonna take that bet. And since Capitol Grill is in all major cities, I bet you Capitol Grill. Or, now we can go up a little bit. We can go Nobu, because I went there in Houston about a month ago now.
Listen,
I like
if you take Jackson State, off the name of the uniform and replace it with like Austin P or somebody like that, if everybody in the coalition saw that Austin P had the number 2 ranked class in the country, every last one of them, no, they don't get their head bust when they play their team. They just can't allow themselves to say, yeah, JSU probably going to get us. Let me give you proof positive of why that would happen. They're saying we lost all this talent. We lost all this and Deion's gone. But do y'all notice what they were saying last year when Deion was here and we had all that talent? Oh, Jack State ain't really got that much talent than us. Our recruiting class just as good as theirs. Oh, Jack State not going to go undefeated. They're going to lose about 2 or 3 games in the conference. I would say, who are we going to lose to? The problem is you have to understand when you're dealing with black folk. They're not going to fix their mouths to give the truth and say, you know what? It probably ain't going to look good for us this year. Or, I would probably lean to say Jack State's going to win, but we'll probably give it our best foot effort. We may have a chance to win. They're not going to say that, man. They will not fix their mouth to say, yeah, Jack State probably going to win this game, or Jack State probably going to beat us. They're going to die on their sword and get 59 points put on them before they sit there and say, yeah, it's looking like Jack State probably going to win that game. Because there is not a snake that's in that comment that will sit there and say, Yeah, I don't really think we're gonna win this game. Jackson State probably gonna get us. Because remember, oh man, we put up these garbage points and yards against North Carolina. Oh, we did this against North Carolina. Oh my God, and we got a game after win. Jackson State didn't play. Oh man, we're gonna destroy JSU. Then it went to, oh, we lost those players. They were ineligible. But remember, you recruited well. If y'all remember, Travis Hunter didn't play. We had plenty of starters didn't play. Did you ever hear Jackson State players say, oh, this is not going to be good because Travis Hunter didn't play? Because we had what? The #1 ranked class in the country. We knew what our recruiting looked like, and we knew the depth that we had. So how are you going to say you're recruiting your ass off like Jackson State, but then you're complaining and crying about losing 8 players? Because if you recruited like you say you did, those 8 players ain't going to kill you. It didn't matter who we lost. And we
key points, though. I'm gonna tell you the word that just stuck out from me, what you just said. Depth. Jackson State has depth, man, and done had it the last 3 years.
Oh man, look, I'm gonna tell you what. I remember that there's no talent gap. I was like, man, we have a crazy talent gap. But our quarterback was out. We probably ain't gonna win. I mean, we lost tons of players. I mean, we lost linemen. We lost other players. And nobody from Jackson State bat an eye. Nobody bat an eye. I tell you what, they were complaining about Isaiah Land. Oh, Isaiah Land got that 1 sack early in the game and did nothing else. They all SWAC player that went in the portal, came back and went back in the portal. He didn't get a single stat in the game last year against Jackson State. That's a fact. Isaiah Major did nothing in the game against Jackson State. Xavier Smith did nothing in the game against Jackson State. Jijo Hunt didn't even have a good game. Musa, nothing. Remember, Musa was amazing against North Carolina. Crickets against JSU. It's facts. So
he'd be amazing versus everybody in the SWAC. That's how he did his 2,000 yards, because he started the year with -15.
So listen, JSU fans, stop worrying about trying to get somebody from the coalition to really be honest and truthful in their football analysis or their football acumen, because you're not going to get it. They cannot be truthful. They were down their sword before they tell you how they really feel. They're just going to project what they hope and what they want will happen. True story. True story.
It's facts. Those are facts there, Jack. All day long.
I'm just saying. And so now it don't matter that we got the #2 ranked recruit class. I mean, you got people out here, like, for example, from Alcorn or Southern. They will sit here on Al Green Internet and tell you, oh, our recruiting class is just as good as Jackson State. I'm dead serious. Dead serious.
And they will call Jackson State delusional for saying otherwise.
Oh, and what kills me is, oh man, those recruiting rankings don't matter because you have some guys, they were 5-star, they didn't try to be good. And I said it last night, the other day on the Go to Boot. I'm like, let me explain something to y'all. Recruiting does matter, and those recruiting rankings do matter. They tell the whole story. If they don't matter, I tell you what. Why is it that the team in the FBS who has the best recruits typically win a national championship? Now, will you have a 5-star bus? Of course you will. Do you have a lot of them? No, you don't. So they're looking for one-offs. Can you have a 0-star that turns out to be a great player? Yes, you can. Do you have a lot of them? No, you don't. Do you have a lot of? Can you go take a team full of 2-stars and go beat Alabama? Cedric, can you do that?
Nope.
Okay, then.
Nope.
Hold on.
Hell no.
I'll tell you what.
And I hate Alabama.
Hold on, Cedric. I tell you what. Since recruiting don't matter, can you take a team full of 0-stars and have Nick Saban be the coach? Can they go beat Alabama?
Hell no.
Thank you. Because we know talent matters, but we'll say recruiting doesn't matter. Man, that's a moment. Get up out of here, man. Kill me with that crap, man. That's what I'm saying. Look, at this point, I'm gonna tell you,
you gotta have the players to execute the game plan. That's what recruiting is. You have to have a game plan and the players to execute the game plan.
Listen,
that's what recruiting is.
After other. You have to know when you listen to lunacy. It's gonna go. Let it go through one end out the other. Because the mere fact, when I heard somebody who, I mean, literally, we got somebody from Southern saying that their recruiting class is on par with Jackson State.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh, well, okay. Well, you know, I mean,
Right, for example, right now, even as I speak to you, Jackson State has 7 commitments for 2024. We're an FCS program. 6 of the 7 players that's committed right now are all 3-star and they're all in high school. Right now.
wow.
Right now. So TC is already kicking your ass for 2024 in recruiting season already. Right now.
That's crazy. That's
Oh,
crazy.
Steve.
That's unheard of.
No, Steve.
Unheard of.
I'm not saying that I said that we weren't talented, but everybody in unison were saying that they had equal talent to what we had. We all know that is a lie. Everybody said that they had equal talent to what we had. There was no talent gap. They had equal talent to what we had, and we were actually under some people because Deion Sanders can't coach. That was said last year by everybody in the coalition. Oh, Jackson State's going to lose 2 to 3 games in conference. Everybody said that in all these YouTube spaces. Yes, they did. Even, I tell you what, there was not a single FAMU person who said that we were going to be we were going to beat FAMU last year. That's a fact. And I know when I said it, they'll say, well, what else are they supposed to say? You're supposed to root for your school. I didn't say you're supposed to cheer for them, but you got to have some logic coming in that thing too. I'm like Prime when they said about Eddie Roberts, he thought we were going to win. How he think that? How FAMU thought they were going to beat us last year? Because of North Carolina? Because some empty stats they put up at the end of the game? Oh, Musa put up 300 yards, though they was losing by like 40 points. I told
if you know
everybody,
the game, if you know the game, they was playing prevent the whole game.
Listen, you can check it on wax. I told everybody the week before the game, I said JSU was going to win by 45 points. It's still on Agri and YouTube. You can go look at it. I said it. I said JSU going to win by 45 points. I said before the first game, I said JSU is going to average over 40 points this season. Everybody said I was crazy. I said, I am trying to tell y'all. I said JSU going to average 40 points this season. Now,
how many of them are going to be defensive? How many?
Hold on. I'm not saying we're going to average 40 points this year, but we're going to average a good little bit. But defense, we're going to be sound. I'm not sitting here saying we're going to go undefeated, but we're not going to have no losing season. We're going to be in contention for this championship. We're going to be in contention for the Celebration Bowl. I'm going to proclaim that right here for right now. And I'm not even being a JSU fan when I say that. I'm telling you, I see it. I'm not even worried about, because some people say, well, practice ain't the game. Damn right it ain't. But you know what I can hold it to? I can hold it to the 2-time defending conference champion because I seen what we looked like last year and the year before. So I know what that team looked like. I'm holding it to our standard. And this team fits the bill.
Number facts with me. I'm on mute.
Nobody said that? Oh, man, please. I tell you what. God rest the dead. Kofi even said it. God rest the dead. And I was on the program with him last year for it. Oh, man, you can go back on. I tell you what. We need to make a clip of all the different FAMU fans who were saying they were going to destroy Jackson State last year. That they had us. Oh, that they was going to win. And they were going to win by a touchdown. I remember before we played the Southern game, you had people out there saying that we were going to lose Southern. Giving up like 21, 28 points. I'm like, dude, how are we going to give up 28 points to Southern and we barely giving up 10 points a game on defense? And you ain't even got no good offense. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I mean, I think that, okay, and I said that the quarterback room overall is an upgrade. We lose Shador, but
by far,
overall quarterback room, bar none, is best in HBCU football.
By far. Hold on. It ain't even up for debate. See, watch this. I tell you what. SWAC championship game. Southern played 3 quarterbacks, right? And they hanging their head like, oh, had we played Bo McDowell, we would have won the game, but you're still out by 20. I don't know how to get there. But here's the thing. All 3 of our quarterbacks in contention have the same skill set. And would you rather have just 1 4-star quarterback or 3 3-star quarterbacks in your room? 3-star quarterbacks in your room. And we got a local legend in Zy McDonald, who ain't nobody seen yet. Everybody want to overlook. Jacoby in there, Jason Brown in there. And then you've seen the commitment we got. That's another 3-star. So, by the way, going at the end of the season, you're going to have 4 3-star quarterbacks in your quarterback room. Right now. Who else in HBCU got that? Nobody. But
and you're forgetting about Sunshine. Sunshine was star rated too.
But he was a 2-star. And that's no knock on him because Grace still could play. But I'm just saying, you got 3 3-stars and a 2-star. When you have 4 3-stars in your quarterback room next year. 4.
And the JUCO player of the year too.
So I'm just sitting here saying, like, what are we talking about? And TC ain't coached the game. Also, TC got the number 1 ranked class. It was just TC and Otis. The staff wasn't even assembled yet. So these whole SWAC coaching staff got out recruited by 2 dudes.
Ooh.
And they ain't coached the game yet. And to answer your question, somebody said, how do I feel about the offense? Y'all gonna love this offense.
Fun to watch.
You're gonna love it.
Fun to watch. And that same offense beat the SEC team several.
Tight end university, wide receiver university. It's crazy. I'm most excited about the tight ends because our tight ends under Prime, they weren't utilized as much. But Sebastian St. Louis, freshman, he's already 6'5".
Oh man, I'm not giving no information. And Coach Simmons online right now, lying to all the FAMU faithful. He probably gonna self-inflict himself while he online because he needs to stay off social media. So he probably about to self-inflict himself.
What?
I mean, I've seen the talent that FAMU has brought in, and I do like that young man that's the transfer from
Bethune.
No, this guy, he's a transfer from Utah. He's pretty good.
Hey, K-Lofton, the office that you saw in the spring ain't the office you're gonna see.
Man, that was vanilla in the spring.
Oh,
you need to stop that.
No. Guess what? You didn't even see the offense.
You should know football better than this, K-Lofton now.
I have, though. So I'm glad you feel that way. I'm going to tell y'all something, too, for most, like, novice fans. I hope y'all understand, because I know a lot of people put an onus on the spring game, no matter what school it is. Y'all do know that whatever it's the blue and white or blue and gold or green and yellow, whatever you call that game, you do know it's just a scrimmage. Like, they've had other scrimmages, too. So it's not like we got all these practices and the last scrimmage is the culmination of everything, and that overrides all the other practices. You do know that, right? It ain't nothing but the third scrimmage. They've had a second one and a first one. You just didn't see it. You do know that, right?
All scrimmages are, man, is what we used to play when we in Sandlot. We used to call it sideline kill. If somebody run for the sideline, you hurt them or whatever. But, you know, on the field of play, you don't be as aggressive. K-Lofton know that. Take them. Come on, man. We speaking facts. I hadn't said not one thing bad about FAMU. I'm saying FAMU has some talent, but Jackson State talent is just different. I'm telling you, it's different this year. It's different. I mean, and when you see Mr. Olympia, because that's what I call him, Mr. Olympia. When you see him, man. That's all I'm gonna say. LSU did us a favor.
Hey man, I'm gonna tell y'all. You go look in Genesis in the Bible, man. The first creature to ever take an L in man history was a damn serpent. It's documented. It's in Genesis. First creature, first animal to ever take an L. Serpent.
Oh my goodness.
Damn snake. It do be facts though.
It's facts. That's facts.
I mean, so this whole thing about JSU gonna win 4 games, man, please bet me.
I want that.
Bet me
because I'm gonna tell you the bet that I want. That what's that guy? Jay White, I think that's his name. He said that Jackson State gonna only win six games this year. And that's the bet I want because they would, they were capping and all of those.
I'm trying to understand. Steve says delusion. Name one thing that I lied about so far, because I ain't need him to speak facts. Tell me what the lie is. It can't be a delusion when you're speaking a fact.
I'm trying to figure out what he's talking about. We just been speaking facts.
I'm just trying to figure out what a delusion is.
We're going to out talent the SWAC this year, and it's not even going to be close. It's.
Nah, but we got good coaching too, though. That's the thing.
That's the see that that's.
I don't even think they looked at the coaching like
that's the
trying to say that coaching.
That's the doggone.
At 16, and it's like you could.
So I don't keep up with no legless lizards. I can tell you what they do that wore that UCF shirt in Willie Simmons' office going. I don't know what he's doing. He probably at UCF. He professed that's where he wanted to be while he was in Willie Simmons' office. That was self-inflicted too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was majorly self-inflicted. I mean,
that video out too. That dude with a UCF shirt on in Willie Simmons' office.
I mean, I'm just saying. SWAC, look out, man. That's the only thing I can say. Just look out.
But yeah, so this whole notion, that and it's fine. I'm not bothered by the notion because the game's got to get played. I tell you what, the fact that we got South Carolina State, FAMU, and Southern 3 straight back-to-back games, it's gonna be real quiet after September.
After what? What you call it?
September. I love it. I'm gonna get that on a t-shirt.
It's gonna be real quiet early
in September. I like that. September. I like that.
Lord,
I like that. Hashtag September. I like that.
It's gonna be real quiet, man.
It need to be. I mean, we need to go ahead and go and get this stuff over with, man, because at the end of the day, these cats gonna still be talking, and then we're gonna have to reinvent the SWAC JSU championship.
Here's the killer. I'm gonna be honest, man. The coalition hoping and praying, man. They better hope and pray JSU don't win. Because do y'all understand? If TC win the SWAC his first year, you done took all the power from the coalition. Because Dion gone. We lost 50 players. We lost Johnny T. We lost trainers. You know what I'm saying? We didn't even lost some more extra.
We almost lost Rob J.
I'm just saying. No, we did. We replaced him with Rob K. Rob J gone. You know what I'm saying? So we lost everything. And look, TC can't coach. He can't do nothing. Man, do you understand if TC win the SWAC his first year? He literally took all the power from them. All of it. And we got a young team. Because going in, if he win it, you're not going to out-recruit him.
No. Oh, no.
Look,
You're not going to do that.
He's putting boot the ass already. 7 of them things, 3-star. And look, 6 of the 7 are from Mississippi. Metro Jackson at that. I mean, so I'm just saying.
This man did something that Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and USM normally do. He got the best 2 wide receivers
in the state.
I
mean, how
That's
many?
Unheard of.
First team all state, second team all state.
That's unheard of.
Oh no! I'll tell you what else. In the state of Arkansas, for the previous 2 years, we've gotten the #1 ranked player in the state of Arkansas for 2 years in a row on the same team. Tyus Smart, Isaiah Kendall.
That's unheard of. That's unheard of.
I was just saying.
That's unheard of. On the FCS level, that's unheard of.
But they matching us with recruiting. I mean, look, if y'all like it, I love it. But a lot don't care who tell it.
So don't, because you can look at that, you can look at them all state teams and then them dandy dozen guys from every year.
So here's the thing.
You got 2 of them out the dandy dozen, and you're a SWAC school.
Let me say this again. Of course, yeah, fam, you got some talent.
They do.
They got some talent. See, the thing is, their talent solely comes in for the most part on transfer portal. The thing is, we kicking y'all ass at transfer portal, but our high school recruits are killing everybody's. It ain't even up for debate. He ain't up for debate.
Mm-mm.
Dude, no. We pulled a scholarship from a young man. His last leg was to go to FAMU.
Mm.
Dead serious. And this ain't even no shade at him because dude actually can play.
Yeah,
But-
Lockhart. Yeah,
But
Lockhart.
here's the
was
thing,
good.
but it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to FAMU over JSU. No, pimping. His scholarship got pulled.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah, that was a fact. That was a big fact.
I mean, so what I'm saying is, dude, we and it ain't stopping. Because I'm telling you right now,
Mm-mm.
when we win, we're gonna have the #1 ranked class in the country in 2024. I'm telling you this right now.
Yeah.
We
I
already
can agree with that.
we already sit on C3 stars. I'm telling you,
I can agree with that.
it ain't gonna be close. It ain't gonna be close.
That doggone Ethan Allen, you know, you just gonna hear him and Morgan these next couple of years. I mean, and it's gonna have to come fight. It's gonna have to be a fight to the finish.
Well, because TC is going for a certain thing that he wants out of wide receivers going forward. He wants a certain makeup for the offense that we're running. That's why.
Yeah, we too loaded. And to answer the DLOB or whatever, yes, we can go. 3 to 5 quarter QBs deep. We can. I mean, it's just that much talent in one room. You can. And please stop trying to have amnesia, because when Philip Short was coming out and had a list of SWAC schools, everybody was talking about the guy. So, but now he's sorry now, right? He can't play now, right? Jason Brown can't throw right. When he was going to Southern, you saw all these headlines. Oh, Jason Brown is headed for a visit to Southern, but he must have, got some gas in Jackson on the way to Baton Rouge. And, and I get it, because that's a great halfway point between, because you keep, about an hour 45 on up and you head to Baton Rouge. But when he stopped over there on, off of frontage, man, and got the gas near Pearl, he just had to go see it, and we see where he's at. But all of a sudden now he can't play. When all these teams were courting Coach TC, going to all these other SWAC schools, they need to interview this guy.
Is that true, Zoe?
What?
That some of the there was some tea dropped by Mr. Walker that some people, like some schools in the SWAC, were interested in getting Coach TC Taylor.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. I'm trying to tell you, it's not so much as you trying to berate people. See, that's what the SWAC pundits don't understand.
I'll tell you what I say. I'm gonna tell you how we need to say it. I'm gonna do it like HBCU game day. There were several SWAC schools interested in TC Taylor last year.
Thank you. Like, I mean, golly, that's what it was. That's what it was. I mean, don't be ashamed that, okay, he didn't come to your school. The man said, and I'm about to quote him word for word. This man said out his own mouth. He didn't say it he didn't tell Zoe to say it. He didn't tell SheLovesThee. He didn't tell Uncle Campbell, Whitley, Israel, none of it. Coach TC said, and I quote, he said, man, this is my dream job. You don't want to play when somebody says it's their dream job. You don't want to talk too much noise to the people now. Just imagine, let's say if you want to be a Fortune 500 CEO, and that's my dream job. So you think you're going to do anything to lose it?
Man, okay, like, I tell you what, let's look at the conference right now. All right, since we like to expound on stuff like this. Okay, right now, exclude Jackson State. Who's the best OC in the conference?
You said exclude Jackson State?
Exclude Jackson State. Who's the best OC in the conference? I want you to watch this.
Are we going to do a poll or something?
No, just tell me what you think. Who's the best OC in the conference, excluding Jackson State?
offensively.
Dum dum dum
Let me look
dum
at
dum dum dum.
Alabama A&M's offensive coordinator. Let me see. I'm trying to see who's got some good Dwayne Taylor, maybe.
Okay, so we're
At
gonna roll.
Alabama A&M.
So we'll roll Dwayne Taylor, right? Dwayne
Yeah.
Taylor's a good. Okay, look, I can roll with it. Dwayne Taylor's a really good, reputable OC, right?
Yes.
Watch this. Now watch this. Tell me who you want to roll with. Dwayne Taylor, Maurice Harris. You say Willie Simmons? Hey man, how many points Willie Simmons put up against Jack State last year? Come on.
Who?
How many points did Willie Simmons put up on Jack State last year?
3.
How many did he put up the year before that?
6.
How many he put up the game before that?
I think
16.
It was 16.
Okay, then 2 touchdowns. Well, he had 2 touchdowns. So Willie Simmons what? And hold on, before prime, he put up 16 before prime, and we were 4-8 that year. By the way, he put up 16 points. So now Willie Simmons ain't no one of the best OC in this conference. No.
Mr. Campbell, I said Dwayne Taylor now.
So I'm just saying. So Dwayne Maurice Harris. I'm just saying. But we got this great drop off because Prime left. But remember when Prime was here, Dion ain't on the field. He was a high school coach. So tell me how the hell a high school coach come in here and dog walk everybody. Enlighten me. And TC got more experience than Prime, and he's attached to the program coming in. TC is better suited to have success starting out than what Prime did when Prime first got here. That's a fact. But we're finna regress. And the SWAC has caught up and surpassed us in talent. Man, where do these people get these lies from, dog? I'm just saying.
Mm.
I'm just saying, man.
I think that we have the best coaching staff.
Who's obviously had put up the most points the last 4 years? I tell you, JSU put up the most points the last 2 years.
And those are
definitely have the best strength and conditioning program in the SWAC.
Yeah, they're gonna see that too. They're gonna see that too. I'll go on record to say this.
That's our secret weapon.
I'll go on record to say this. No one in the SWAC has the staff that we have by far. No one in the SWAC has as many strength coaches as we have.
It's not even close.
I'm not gonna say what I really want to say because things ain't been out there just yet, but they'll see next month. But nobody in the SWAC has as many strength coaches as we have. We separate ourselves with that. And that's after Deion Sanders left, by the way.
He did us a favor, I guess, by having them creep out the back door. More room for us to build. I'm excited about it. Definitely by far the number one coaching.
No, staff. It ain't. We're gonna. You know what? I'm gonna toss up my head every time we score a touchdown, Steve. Like Miss could do for a Jubilee. I'm gonna throw my hat for every touchdown we get. I'm not the least bit concerned about beating FAMU. Seriously, at all. And the more y'all talk, really, it's like y'all try to convince yourself that y'all, I think we can. Nah, dog. You ever see the black dude from Mississippi in the summertime? Don't they all got snakeskin boots on? That's what we do.
And we go fishing. We go fishing with minnows.
Just saying, man. Nah, man. I don't know about you, but every day I go on Facebook, I see somebody cut the head off a snake every day. I post a picture of a decapitated snake every day. It's what we do. But nah, dog. But now I'm not saying we're gonna go undefeated, but I think we'll probably hover around 9-2. We're gonna be in contention to win that SWAC though. But I tell you one thing, fam, you ain't finna lose to Jack State and they gonna run the table this year. That ain't gonna happen. Just saying, dog. Hey man, and this year over all of, because let me tell you how FAMU fans think. They won't admit it, but they chalked it up losing the last 2 years because it's Dion. But not Dion gone. So that coupon they gave Willie Simmons is gone. They're gonna be pissed to hell and back after TC kicked that ass. Because trust me, don't worry about what they say. The Jackson State game for all FAMU rallies this year, it's a Super Bowl. Trust me when I tell you, they put all their proverbial eggs in their JSU basket. So when we bust their head to the white meat, it's going to literally kill them. And I'm going to be here to enjoy it. In the
Blue Blossom Classic.
Yeah, I would be down there in the suite with old Uncle Campbell. Laugh.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we came down to Miami and took claim of what was ours, man. They brought the game back, and they ain't won a game since the game been brought back. We look, put them out there classic and claimed it as our own. You see what I'm saying?
You ain't got the answer, Sway. I just want FAMU to or I want all of the teams, like they keep on saying that we won't win, but when we ask, well, what do you have? They can't tell us what they have.
Hey, man, they won't be doing all this silly stuff after the game. But, man, we're doing this stuff for him. They're going to be doing all this silly stuff. We have defamed them snakes, bro. Hey, man, after we beat them down this year, she's going to be thick 16.
FAMU playing DeVry Institute. Listen, I am so excited for week 0 in Atlanta. MEAC SWAC Challenge. What do you think about that matchup between South Carolina State and Jackson State?
I mentioned it the other day. I think right now, as of today, that's the hardest game on the schedule because it's the first game of the year. Because it's TC's first game, he needs to get the, get the actual. He needs to pop his chair, get the market behind him. But I love the fact that he playing Buddy Pugh. You know, you got this newbie and this wily old veteran. But tomorrow, let me just tell you, because you got to catch it. You got to know who you're dealing with when you're dealing with black folk. Because you know after we beat South Carolina State, they're going to move that goalpost.
They always move the goalpost.
They're going to move it. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to, because it's Buddy Pugh now, reputable coach. South Carolina State always keep a stingy D, but they're going to move that goalpost. You see what I'm saying? Oh, you should have beat them. You can't. The thing is, you can't say that about Jack State this year, according to y'all, because Prang on, lost 50 players, lost Johnny T, lost the trainers. You know what I'm saying? TC can't coach. All this.
Where'd Johnny T go?
Huh?
Where'd Johnny T go?
I mean, Johnny T gone.
What?
Prior to Johnny T with him, everything gone. Everything gone from Jackson. So
Rob J, Johnny T.
It took everything, man. Everything.
It's like the Grinch that stole Christmas.
Look, Jackson.
Hell, he even took DD4L.
Hey man, look, let me tell you something, dog. Jackson ain't got nothing but bad water and pothole. That's all we known for right now. That's all we got. You know what I'm saying? Bad water and pothole. So watch this. After we look like some bad Asians, dog, with South Carolina State, they gonna move their goalposts that we can set our sights on our favorite little buddies, from our favorite friends from the lowest of 7 hills.
Not the lowest of 7 hills.
Yeah. And they gonna get these. They can have their Super Bowl early in the year. And now I'm telling you, the fall from grace is gonna be amazing. Because I'm telling you, the Jack State game is their Super Bowl. And when they lose, you're going to feel the air. I mean, just deflate out the stadium.
Yeah, Drip. I want to comment on Drip Sip. Yeah, he took DD4 here, man. Now that was how you gonna take the little girls, man, and then bring them up there to that little old air up that way. Now that was crazy. Now he took DD4 here. I saw her on the internet about 2 weeks ago with a Colorado stuff on.
And that's not even the full staff. They ain't the full staff.
Yeah, because I looked, but I just didn't say anything because y'all haven't announced it. But it's kind of like on the it's on the website.
But it's on there on the website too.
What?
It's on there on the website too.
Rip me out the plastic. The coach and staff is brand new.
I'm just saying, man. This great demise for JSU is whoo. I love to see it. I'm telling you, this season is gonna be perfect for us. This season right here when we win, it's gonna be better than any of the 2 years that Prime was here because this is for us, by us. It's straight up Jacksonians. Everybody from Drew City coming to kick y'all tail. Oh, that red block is back too. Oh, it's back. So yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful thing.
What about
Atlanta's gonna be on one.
What uniform are they wearing for Atlanta?
I'll never tell.
And Zoe, you saying 9-2? I know one that you probably think of. What would be the other one?
I'm not gonna say. Let me tell you, I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna cut you out tomorrow. I'm not gonna say because I honestly don't have a team in mind. But at the end of the day, it's just hard to go undefeated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And so that's why I'm giving it that. But I'm not gonna say oh, I believe, because I don't believe I really don't believe we're gonna lose to anybody. But again, just the law of averages, it is extremely hard to go undefeated. You know.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
I think we're going undefeated in the SWAC.
Well, it's possible. I'm not gonna say we can't do it. I'm not gonna say we can't. I mean, we just did 2 years in a row. So, but I'm just saying it because of the difficulty of the nature to get it done. But 9-2 and a first-year coach who never coached before, who everybody say can't coach, if he go 9-2 and win the conference and then win the Celebration Bowl, it's gonna be a whole lot of folks with
pink slips.
Now with self-inflicted egg on their faces.
Oh no, but they're gonna have pink slips too, because at this point everybody thought that it's kind of like an injured animal, like you're trying to go in for the kill. So I think that even like you said, going 9-2, still going as a Celebration Bowl, you're definitely going to. There's going to be some pink slips that are written for several different coaches in the SWAC. Oh, Mr. Brown Senior, we never made it.
Never made it to the airport.
You said I didn't. Oh, hold on. And since Mr. Brown's here, let me just
go into the Jackson airport, and you guys just said, "Let's go ahead and stop by Jackson State."
Hey, no, that ain't what he's talking about. That ain't what he's talking about. I'm gonna tell you what he's talking about. Let me just say this, because there's a certain school who was actually bragging upon Jason Brown, right? They're gonna get this quarterback. They were bragging on him. He was really, really good. But you know, he came to JSU on his visit. Needless to say, he never left Jackson. They ain't make it to the airport to go to the said of the school. That's what happened. And so now that same said school, they act like they ain't really want Jason Brown. He ain't good all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? He ain't what they were professing for him to be. You know what I'm saying? No, that's what he mean. We didn't make it to the airport to go to a certain place. We came here, we made our decision, and we went on back home.
Yeah, because HBCU game, they dropped the article on that. It was, you know.
I'm just saying, that's why you have to be careful when you say stuff in these social media places, because it stays with you. You know, I've been guilty of it. You know, I've said some things that kind of come back and haunt me, but you know, I still put my hand up. But that's one thing about it. You know, you say, "Oh yeah, we got so and so and so and so." You wait till we get so and so and so and so, and then so and so and so and so don't even make it down yonder to get to your school. Cause he just say, I think I like this blue and white with this little hint of this little bit of gold and red. I think I'm gonna stay here.
Now you got egg on your face.
Well, I'll put it to you this way: they really, really do food real good down there. So they got like a little egg remoulade. How about that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, Mr. Brown, Uncle Brown said he promised me my 350 yards and 6 touchdowns. So, hey,
man.
Hey, I'm ready.
And so we, you know, again, we look at numbers. We try to, because whenever it's somebody that when it's pretty bad, we want to try to minimize impact, right? So we'll say, oh, his record was so and so over here, but we purposely leave out what he did when he was in FCS. When dude threw for over 3,000 yards and a high number of touchdowns and low number of interceptions with a good completion percentage. So much so that his completion percentage would have been second place last year just behind Shador. And his season then was better than what Musa had last year. You see what I'm saying? But we won't talk about that.
I've said several times, even in the FBS level for what he was doing and for those 2 games that he played in.
I'm just saying, man.
Versus, to go to postseason play, he won that big game, and then versus Florida, and then I would think that you would say, okay, a quarterback that's able to play at that level, and then he did really good in FCS. You would think that going from FBS to FCS with that completion rate, you should see an increase in his completion percentage, right?
And then too, some of us in the SWAC space, we try to talk and act like the SWAC is the SEC. I mean, seriously, there are some of us that try to talk like the SWAC is the SEC. Let's just cut that out, man.
Let's please cut that out.
Let's please cut this out.
Please cut that out.
This is not what that is. You know, the SWAC is tough. Is this? I mean, the SWAC is a formidable conference, but let's not sit here and act like the SWAC is the AFC. You know what I'm saying? The AFC West. I mean, we try to act like it's, you know what I'm saying? It's like a damn division in NFL. That ain't what it is, dog. It ain't been that way in a long time. And you know, we try to act like, oh, the talent that we got it might even be great out of conference, but it's gonna struggle in this conference. But yet this conference struggles out of conference. Like, come on, you can't have it both ways. So, nah, man. A lot of people for to be in for a rude awakening this season. For real.
A lot of that stuff is their fault. It's gonna be their fault though, because they talk too damn much and try to hit below the belt.
And also too, I do have to say this: people are really good at throwing the number of the players that Jackson State left. You ever notice? Don't nobody ever talk about the numbers that these other schools in the SWAC lost? Because everybody lost a bit. Mm-hmm. Everybody lost a bit. Mm-hmm. Go do your research, Timon.
I mean, I did. I already counted.
Everybody lost a lot.
I counted, but for FAMU, they had 27 players that came in that were either FBS or FCS combined. They had 27 players. You know, they had bought in at least 13 JUCOs. They had 40 plus players coming in to their team. Of course, Bethune-Cookman had over 50.
No, you're talking about coming in. I said that left.
Oh, you said that left. Well, I mean, if they have 40 coming in, then you got to have a certain amount coming out.
True. But again, the thing is, look at those numbers. See, the thing is, people make it seem like, oh, Jack, they lost 50 players. They ain't got but 20 players left on the roster. No. We had over 100 guys on the team last year. I mean, so, you know, our demise is greatly exaggerated. I think some of them need to sweep around on for a door and talk about players leaving. Because here's the thing. We had them, but we recouped a good number that we kept stayed. But it's what we did recruiting that filled in the gaps. So what I would venture to say is, how did Alabama A&M recruit? how the Alabama State recruit. And this ain't a shot. I'm just saying. Because the only one that they even say they recruited half decent is FAMU, right? What about the rest of y'all then? If FAMU is the only person that halfway recruited good as us, what about the rest of y'all? Show me my opponent.
Right.
We beat FAMU 4 straight games. Okay, take them out the conversation. What about the rest of y'all? Because we have a winning streak against everybody in the conference right now. Okay. So what about the rest of y'all?
I mean, we just went through the special teams. There's not a special teams that's better.
I mean, I'm just saying.
The wide receiver room, bar none, that's better.
I mean, I'm just
tight
saying.
Ends, I did not get a chance to do the tight ends, but the tight end room is absolutely ridiculous. Linebacker room, defensive line. It's really not it. There's really not a comparison. And like you said, the players that we needed to retain, we did. But you also have to look at TC Taylor wanted to build his team the way he wanted to build it. So if a player didn't want to be there, we're not going to force you to stay. You just open up a slot for somebody who wants to be here.
Now, the thing is, even logically looking at it, best D-line in the conference is not even debatable. Best back end in the conference, not even debatable. Now, if you want to look at linebackers, we lost Aubrey Miller, and then you're replacing that. So there's an uncertainty to the masses, right? So that's logical. I can get that. You got to replace the SWAC Defensive Player of the Year. You got to at least think that there'll be some drop-off there because you don't know what you have there. You got to see it. So
let's just say, okay, so looking at Aubrey Miller and the fantastic year that he had, do you recall the year before that when we lost, right before he came in and had a good year, we lost Keontae Hampton, we lost James Houston, and the same type of narrative that they had about our defensive line, they have again about us this year. Aubrey Miller significantly increased his grade from one year to the next. Aubrey Miller wasn't even on the radar as far as people thinking he would be formidable. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like
they thought he was formidable, but you have to remember too, when it comes to Aubrey, that's still one player. I'm still talking about the unit. All right. Yeah. So again, I can see that. I'm not going to even argue with that because again, logically speaking, that's a lot to replace, right? You
right.
Look at it on the macro level. Defensive Player of the Year is gone. You got players for the most part who hadn't played, so you got to see it. I'm not even going to argue with that. Okay, cool, you got to see it. But again, best defensive line in the country in the conference, best back end in the conference, and you upgraded at that at that aspect. Quarterback room, best quarterback room in the conference. To the outside fans, okay, they got to see it. That's fine, but from a unit, it's not even debatable. Running back room, I'm going to say push. I'll even go so far to give it to Southern with the best running back room in the conference, all right? Because what we have is improving. You got J.D. Barton that I'm going by the outside masses. You seen J.D. Martin, but that's all that you've seen? Fine, you can have at it. Wide receiver room, we still have it. People say it's unproven, but we still have it. Because guess what? What other tandem? Because the only quarterback that actually threw for decent yards last year was Musa. His best weapon is gone. All right. So now in the conference, who you gonna say got the best wide receiver room in the conference? Because if you want to say, well, Jack State wide receiver room is unproven, shit, all of them are unproven. So if that's the case, if they're all unproven, then I'm rolling with the talent. Who got a deeper wide receiver room than we do? And we're not going by numbers, we're going by talent in the room. Jack State got it. Tight end room, we're not even gonna go there.
First don't even go. Please don't go there.
And then we got two. Go there. Then you got two. Tight end room is us. O-line. Who you want to go with on the O-line? I mean, we're still up there because last season it wasn't like we're chopped liver. But if you don't want to give to us, fine. But watch this: quarterback room, wide receiver room, tight end room, D-line, back end,
special team,
and special team. Show me my opponent.
You forgetting the big phase too. Coaching as a unit. Coaching.
I mean, coaching, but see, they'll say we are improving. But I'll say this: Because I know
Oh,
I know we'll probably tend to want to go with McNair, but then I'll push back on that because I'll say, well, McNair, if we're really going to be truthful, McNair hasn't done anything with his own players. McNair got his championships off Hobson. And that's another thing too. Let me get on there right quick before I go. A lot of people tend to sit here and say, "Oh, Jack State went good till Dion got there." I sit there and say, Alcorn went good till they got Hobson.
yeah, because they were 0-11.
Now watch this. Hold on. Alcorn hadn't won anything since Steve McNair left, 1994. Hadn't won anything. So they didn't do anything until they got Hobson. Hobson won 2 years, left a season off, and then McNair won 2 years. McNair won with Hobson players. So once Hobson players gone, what has McNair done?
Can you talk about the linebacker room a little bit?
About
some of our newcomers like Alan Walker,
Josh
Clark.
Man, look, you got Alan Walker,
6'2", 230.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, from a linebacker standpoint, man, I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm telling y'all, when y'all see Junior, that's and I'm not gonna even try to say his name because I just call him Troy Polamalu because he got that long hair. But when y'all see Junior, man, but
is that Halimi or Halimi?
Yes. Himuli.
Yeah,
It's Himuli. It's too many syllables. You're gonna butcher it. But you got Allen at the mic, man. You're gonna have Junior, which is what we call him. And then you still got JJ, you got Isaac Peppers, man, you got Jermaine McNeil, Christian Taylor, still got Khalil Ayrton, but man, Noah Ballou. And Jace Ward is actually a linebacker, but he still may slide in depending on what happened at linebacker. I mean at tight end. So we'll see. But man, Noah Ballou is gonna be a dog, man. If you guys can see that kid, man, he got the frame, and yeah,
love to hit too.
Noah Ballou is gonna be a dog, but man, Christian Taylor is a dog, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, you got Isaac Peppers, JJ, Javarian Jenkins, Christian Taylor, Jermaine McNeil, man. And then you talk about, like I said, Junior, Alan Walker, and, KJ Khalil Ayrton. And you got Jackson Berry. I'm telling you, man. And this defense can cover.
Mm-hmm.
Defense can cover.
They can. Saw that the other day with them damn tennis ball drills. Saw it.
Do you think Julius Reynolds will come off the edge to be a defensive edge?
Steve, I didn't say that they didn't have questions. You got to see them on the field. I said who has the deepest room. From a talent standpoint, who got the deeper room at quarterback? I didn't say we had a proven starter at quarterback because you got to see it, right?
We said the quarterback room overall, bar none, is best in the SWAC.
So, Steve, who in the SWAC got a deeper quarterback room than JSU?
Nobody.
Yeah, boy.
Come on now. Nobody with that.
I want to hear this. Tell me the team who has more talent in their quarterback room than Jackson State. I want to hear this. Please enlighten me. Please type your answer. I want to see this. Please tell me who has a deeper quarterback room than JSU. I really want to hear this.
We're still, at the I think at Southern they have Harold Blood. And then at Alcorn they're placing Tyler Macon at QB1. And he's basically a freshman, but Tyler Macon.
And let me say this about Draco too. You know, he's barely played coming in. I still expect for him to have a decent year. Did somebody really say Alabama A&M with a deeper quarterback room? Okay. That's not even worth a response. But
they got that Quad Brown young man.
But the thing about Draco, because I have to say this, Shador, his freshman season, didn't come on until about the third or fourth game of his freshman season. You see what I'm saying? And so Macon may actually turn out to be a good quarterback. I mean, it's to be seen. I expect that he's going to have a decent year.
I think so too.
You said they can make the argument, but you still ain't told me which one of them got more talent in the quarterback room.
Oh, nobody.
Damn, the argument. I answered the question. Grambling. Hold on. I seen Grambling in the quarterback room. What they got? They got 1 3-star in the quarterback room. What Southern got?
Harold Blood and some freshmen.
They got a good freshman. Southern got a good freshman out of Marietta. He's a damn good quarterback.
Yeah, we were talking about him the other day.
Oh, look at all the players in the quarterback room. They are not matching what Jack State got. It ain't even for debate. It ain't even for debate.
I'm sorry, Graham fam. I'm sorry. I've been a ref for years, man. Up until before COVID. I'm sorry. Hugh Jackson I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna go on mute. I'm sorry. Sorry, Graham fam. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry. I know. Believe me, I know. I done seen some helmets slung and just trust me on that. I know. I mean, Hugh may, but it's a big I don't know with that one. A big one. But like I said, as far as the depth, there's no team in the SWAC that's gonna be able to adjust to the depth that Jackson State has. And that's not even having just blue and white glasses on. That's just being factual and logical.
In shape.
Oh man, I don't want to talk about the shape, man. I told you, just me looking at them boys the other day was making me tired. Just sitting there watching, and I ain't even working out.
Look, I'm gonna say this, yeah, man. Everybody's working, and everybody's doing that thing. But I remember can we talk specifically last year when we brought Mo Sims in, and again, I'm like, hey, I'm not being JSU homer. I'm just telling you, this will be the best conditioned team in the conference. And you know what? We actually displayed that throughout the whole entire season last year. We actually showed that, right? So, and people think when Mo Sims left, we're gonna have a drop off. I'm like, no, we just
hell no.
All we basically
got to upgrade if you ask me.
All we did was basically, I'm gonna touch on that. All we basically did was leave a coach from Georgia and go get a new strict coach from Texas Tech. Go look at what they did last season and go look at that team. And the difference between Coach Mo and Coach Beef is Coach Beef is instilling a program. Distinctly different. He's doing a distinctly different thing than what Coach Sims did. And you're going to see it next month. You're going to see it next month. And we're doing things, again, on a Power 5 level when it comes to what we do at practice and what we do, even from a recruiting standpoint and what we're trying to do. We're changing the game and the landscape of what we're doing on the day-to-day. And that's Deion Sanders' greatest asset to Jackson State. I can honestly tell you guys, we're doing a lot of things that pretty much no HBCU is doing on a day-to-day operation standpoint. And we're trying to do a lot of things implemented that a lot of Power 5s do. I'm not going to get to the specifics of it, but we are. And that's Deion Sanders' greatest asset to Jackson State. And so, like I told everybody, when you see this team in Atlanta, you're going to know it's real. The strength coach is coming out telling you already. He's letting you know what it is. This will be the biggest, fastest team, you know what I'm saying, in HBCU ball. And he ain't missing word. And he ain't just talking to be talking. The fact is there. So, and that's not to diminish what everybody else is doing. It's just we're doing something different. Go ahead.
Right. You can see it translating in some of the, like Kobe Paul is a prime example of, you can see the transition and you can see the growth. Coinus Miller, I couldn't even recognize.
I'm trying to tell you.
Who is that?
Trying to tell you. True Thompson too. When you see True Thompson and Jeremiah Williams too.
And on that DB side, I noticed that
man, Bruce Batman.
Even K5, Batman. I was talking about him earlier, man. And Batman is a terror. He terror. But K5 look very much
Alan
so.
Walker, man. I'm telling you, when you Keidron Callaghan, oh my God, man, I'm telling you, when you guys see this team, you're gonna say, see, that's the difference between, there's one thing about Coach Beef, and I always say there's a good strength staff have walking billboards. So it don't matter what nobody talk about. That's the one thing about the strength staff. They have walking billboards. The proof of their work is going to be displayed. You're going to see it before they even play the game.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I can't wait till we debut Mr. Olympia. I gave him that nickname when I saw him the other day. I mean,
Like,
3 weeks ago.
I didn't know that was Queen. I was like, whoa, he looks like a totally different.
I'm telling you, when you see him in person, I'm telling you, man.
Are you guys sure that's Queen's? Is that him?
Yeah, that's him. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's him. That boy lean and muscular and just,
man.
Like I said, he and Mr. Olympia gonna cause havoc in the SWAC.
Man, look, Juice Reynolds, man, Phillip Webb, Antonio Doyle. I'm telling you, man. Jeremiah
a lot
Williams.
of people don't know, like, okay, Julius Reynolds, a 3-star. Antonio Doyle, 4-star. True Thompson, 3-star.
Mm-hmm.
That's from the previous regime that are still there. So that's why it's kind of like.
Also, I have to say this. I have to say this. You do realize starting, you're going to have 2 top 100 defensive ends starting on the line. You do know that, right? Phillip Webb and Antonio Doyle. Phillip Webb and Antonio Doyle. They were both top 100 players. So watch this. You're going to have 2 top 100 players starting, as well as a 3-star and a 5A defensive player of the year in Mississippi, who was a 3-star as well. I mean, I'm just telling you.
I think that's when they get to saying, stars don't. The excuse then is stars don't matter.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I mean,
okay.
Look, I don't expect anything. I don't expect anything less, because you gotta hang your hat on something, because you can't sit there and say, "Well, you got a point there, though." So they gotta come. You gotta give a rebuttal. Hell or high water, you got to give a rebuttal. You got to say something, because they're not gonna say, "Okay, you got me."
All I know is we got the guy that was Harold Perkins' roommate last year as true freshman at LSU. That's all I'm gonna say. And like I said, I'm the one gave him that name.
We haven't forgotten Devontae, first team all SWAC.
Man, look, and that's why I'm saying it's gonna be tough, Mr. Campbell, on Musa getting 200 yards. Too much pressure coming.
Dude, you see Juice Reynolds right here on film. He's not even starting, dude.
Oh, I know.
3-star. Not even starting.
Good God Almighty.
You want to hear something else? You got Cornish Miller.
3-star.
I mean, look.
Is he a 4-star?
Who?
Cornish Miller's a former 4-star, isn't he?
He's a 4-star.
Yeah. Alan Walker, 3-star. Josh Clark,
4-star.
Former 4-star.
He's not starting.
What?
And going to play a lot. Going to play a lot. I mean, I'm just saying, man.
Not even including special teams. It's just.
I'm just saying. Oh, and guess what? Big Juice, that's Julius Reynolds, by the way. He didn't start last year. You remember he picked up that fumble? I'm gonna ran it back for a touchdown against FAMU. That's him.
Yeah, that was him. Yep.
I'm trying to tell you, man. It's a
Big
wealth.
number 92.
It's a wealth of riches. 95.
95. Yeah, 95. 95.
No, it's a wealth of riches.
Yeah, it's crazy that you got one team that has on the defensive line, you got about 4 guys that come from the SEC. And then one came from Florida State. That's all one unit. Then you're not even adding in the transfer guy from was it PB?
No, from Atherton. And here's the thing. When you talk about the D line, you didn't even see True Thompson last year. He was injured. You didn't even see True Thompson last year because he was injured.
That's what I'm saying.
Weightlifting injury.
Yeah. I can't wait. That's why I'm saying it's gonna be. I don't know, Musa. I mean, you better do some speed training, man, because that D line, y'all ain't gonna be able to block that. There's too many fresh bodies that's gonna come in, and they all gonna be in attack mode.
Man, family, your only success is gonna be the dink and dunk all game.
They're gonna have to, and that's not gonna start. That's not gonna work too much because we got the back end to catch up on that.
Nah, well, dink and dunk is gonna be right there by linebackers. That's the only thing they're gonna have to have because taking them deep shots ain't gonna work in your favor at all.
Nah, ain't nobody gonna be able to take no deep shots in the SWAC. Period. Not with number 6. Period. Because he too long, he too tall, too lanky, and can run like the wind.
Then let's not forget about the bigs coming up off the edge, fast. Devontae Davis.
See, that's gonna be the key. You know, you can dink and dunk, man, but they gonna get there, and he gonna get hit. He's gonna get hit.
We're not gonna answer what we were in the ATL. Mo, you know I'm not gonna answer that up in here.
We got too many grifters.
Nah, it don't matter. I mean, even Jacksonians, I wouldn't tell that up in here.
What color are we wearing in ATL? Oh, okay.
You'll
know in probably 3 weeks. They'll let you know.
No, they ain't gonna let you know. It's a surprise. I'm telling you, they're not gonna let you know. It's a surprise.
No, he's asking what color are the fans wearing? Like white out.
Oh, blue. We blue all day.
He's not talking about the
Oh, we're wearing blue. My bad. We're wearing blue. We blue all day. It's the blue box.
You talking about in Atlanta? That's Blue Blossom Classes. That's the next week.
They done made blue there too.
Cause we giving these folks the blues.
It's blue there too. Blue match.
And after the blue, the next day you got to wear black because it's gonna be a lot of soul singing and flower bringing.
Hey man, if my burger alarm don't start ringing, Biggie.
We're taking blue matches to ATL, then on the South Beach.
Oh. Not the blue magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on, SWAC. It's on. All the talking things.
And look, and that's another guy. I'd be remiss. I ain't even mention him. Andre Hunt. Good surprise for y'all this year. Really good surprise for y'all. Didn't see him play last year.
Hunt. Yeah, I like Hunt too.
Last year. You didn't see him play.
Yeah, I like Hunt too.
But you wait until you see SWAC TO. That's what I call him. I ain't gonna say no name.
That's what. Please don't.
I ain't gonna say no name. Wait till you see SWAC.
Yeah, Lord.
You said SWAC TO.
I ain't saying no name. But you gonna find out. Go put the SWAC on notice.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, okay. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling you.
Well, there you have it. Are they redoing the weight room?
I answered that up in here.
Dang, we got a lot of surprises coming up. Mr. Mitch, the first thing that we did was talk about special teams.
Oh, and the Quay. Don't take that like me getting the attitude. I'm not. I'm just saying I ain't gonna answer that up in here.
Avery Salerno and Gerardo Baeza, Hunter Burns, and Matt Knoll.
Oh, we got 2 kickers coming in. We got 2 new kickers, by the way.
So there's your answer for that.
Goodell is doing good. Strong as an ox, too, man.
So we got new football jerseys? You can just say yes.
Oh, yeah, no, I can answer that. Yeah, we do. Plenty. And new helmets.
Oh, Lord. Well, everybody, I'm about to wrap it up. We're going up on 3 hours. I think Zoe pretty much mimicked and echoed everything that I had to say, which is Jackson State team at every single position as a whole has upgraded. So we're less than 40 days away. Ken Clark will be on Friday, right, Zoe? Y'all are back on Friday, right?
Yeah, and one other tidbit to all my Jacksonians. Don't worry about what you see on the roster right now. The roster will officially be up. The players report on the 26th. I believe the roster will officially be up on the 1st. The official roster for 2023 will be up on the 1st.
So nobody got to ask any more questions. And then you said, you said the official first day of practice is August 26th.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
No, July 26th.
July 26th, I'm sorry.
Right after the SWAC media day.
Yeah, the first day of practice is on July 26th. And, the first game is going to be week 0, which is August 26th. Exactly 1 month to today.
And that is start in Atlanta, finish in Atlanta.
For sure.
Thank you for coming on the show, Zoe and Mr. Walker.
Thank you for having me.
One request, DC Pool. Give me a little bit of that get ready on the way out.
Get ready? I don't know if I have that song. Let me see. Why we can't pay our normal one? Let me see.
Play it. Give me something from the boom. I'm a band head too now.
Anything?
Okay. Anything.
I'm gonna play the one that I normally play because it just
let's do it.
The whole screen. Thank everybody for tuning in. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so. If you would like to make a donation, feel free to hit up the Cash App or the Super Chat. Thank you all for tuning in. Stay tuned. Ken Clark is coming back on Friday, and there will be lots of content dropping for SWAC Media Day. It's crunch time. Thank you, Mr. Campbell, for commenting on my slides. Everybody stay safe. One question, do you want to answer that or no? I don't know nothing about it. I wouldn't.
No, he's not. No, he's not going.
Okay, there's your answer. Thank you all for coming and tuning in. Y'all have a good night.